Hey, I am so excited about this podcast that I'm about to do, but my producer tells me I have to give you a warning. So this is the warning. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that if you're listening to this episode with your kids in the car or somewhere nearby, it may be best to save it for later because this episode is explicit. I think you'll enjoy the show. I certainly had fun doing it, but some of the content is explicit. Thanks. And now here's the show.
This isn't your average business podcast, and he's not your average host. This is the James Altucher Show on the Choose Yourself Network. Today on the James Altucher Show.
When you go on stage, it's different than any other stand-up comedian I've ever seen. You're bringing the party to you on stage. You go on and you're dancing, and the audience just loves you. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
Because I love the audience.
That's really key. Is that the key?
I think you get what you give, you know? And people can feel that. They can pick up on it. It's all about confidence. You can sell any joke. And that's what the having fun thing is. When you're having a really good time with something, you're not scared. You're not nervous. You're not worried about what people think of you. You're just enjoying yourself.
But why do you think you needed 5 years to learn that? Like, why can't someone learn that immediately?
Some people can learn it immediately. But on average, most people are being told, no, you can't do that. You're not good enough. What are you thinking? And then if there's nobody telling you that, you're probably telling it to yourself. You're probably destroying yourself with that negative talk. It takes time to change that thinking, change that internal dialogue. People treat you how you treat you. That's what I learned. I try to manifest, what it is I want to be. Like, before I get on stage, I see in my mind, I'm about to have fun. I know you're sleepy right now. You about to spread just divineness. You got divine order all over you. Everything is happening in the order and the way that it's supposed to happen. You got this, girl. Pull that energy from your uterus. You got it. That's where your soul at. Pull it up from your soul. You got this, girl. Like, I charge myself up.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. She ready.
She ready. I like that. So I am so excited. Tiffany Haddish, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I don't even know where to start with the introductions, but you totally blew up in the past 6 months. I mean, you were big before. You've been doing comedy for 20 years, but just since this summer, you've done Girls Trip with Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett Smith, and you were like the breakout star. I know it's a cliche to say you stole the scenes, but I watched the movie. You steal every scene. You're incredible. I love when you break the bottle of champagne or whatever and are attacking the. Anyway, We're not going to give it anything away. Then you did She Ready, your first Showtime comedy special. That was like your first hour special?
That was my very first hour special.
Because She Ready.
Because She Ready. Yeah.
And then you did the SNL monologue, and I also kind of hate saying this because it seems like just a weird, quote unquote, record. But you were the first female African American woman to do an SNL monologue.
Yes,
which is an achievement.
Yeah,
and you look like you're having a lot of fun. But we're here also to talk about your book just released, The Last Black Unicorn.
Yes,
read the book, loved it. There's a lot of things I want to talk to you about. But do you mind first? I have a gift for you.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Uh-oh. He's got a gift, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's a gift.
What is it?
Hold on. Oh, it's in a bag. It's a suitcase.
A suitcase?
Yeah. Do you know why I'm giving you a suitcase?
For the kids.
For the kids. For the Felix organization.
Oh, wow.
It's a nice suitcase. You could rip it apart later.
Yeah.
If I know you're busy, so if you want us to send it to you.
Oh, it's great. No, we could bring it to the club tonight. This is beautiful. Shoot, I might give my old bag and take this bag. No, I'm just playing. No,
it's a
great.
Nice suitcase.
It's great. It's great for a kid.
And they assured me. So
Yes.
So if you want to describe why this is important, because a suitcase is an odd kind of gift.
Well, a suitcase is very important, especially for a child who is removed from their family, because a lot of times when they take those kids from their homes, they make them put all their clothes in trash bags, and you move to the new house, and then they make you move from that house. Sometimes you have to move from that location to the next location to the next location, And a lot of times they never give you a suitcase or a duffel bag or any kind of bag. And your stuff is just in trash bags. And then how does that make you feel? Like garbage. Like your garbage just being moved around from house to house. And when I was 13, I said to myself, like, I will make sure if I ever get any kind of power, any kind of influence at all, I'm going to try to figure out a way to make sure no kid feels like a piece of trash, like garbage. And the first thing that I could think of that would make me as a child feel different is if I had a suitcase where I didn't have to visually see all of my personal belongings being put in a trash bag. Just visually, like, we have eyes and ears and mouth and all these things. We have all these senses, and they all play a major part in your existence, I feel like. In visually seeing all of your personal belongings, your toys, your stuffed animal, your clothes, your favorite jacket, being put in a trash bag and thrown in the back of a car, and then you're thrown in the back seat of the car, and then they take you out and they take your trash bag out and they drop you off at somebody's house. You're just trash. That's what it feel like. And nobody wants you because you keep moving from this place to that place. So why not give a child a suitcase so they can feel like more so they're on an adventure, that they're just a traveler as opposed to being garbage being passed around.
Well, and I know you've been collecting suitcases for the Felix organization, which I guess then finds the kids to hand them to. So so if anybody listening to this, we're going to get into the whole conversation, but anybody listening to this, look up the Felix organization. It's a great organization, and donate a suitcase to help people. And, Tiffany, how old were you when you entered foster care?
I was 12, almost 13.
And then you were there until basically you were a legal adult.
Basically.
So I want to kind of get into everything, but I'm also still want to stick to the foster care thing for a second. I imagine part of the defense mechanism of moving from house to house, you encountered a lot of bullying, particularly in the early years of your foster care. I imagine that using comedy to kind of fight off the bullies.
Yeah, comedy is the best shield. It is a great defense mechanism. It's a great way to protect yourself. And also it's a great way to turn a bully into a friend, turn them into your protector. It's funny how I watched Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I give it all back to Charles Fleischer, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And when the detective says to the rabbit, "Why are these people doing these nice things for you?" And the rabbit says, "Because I make them laugh, Eddie. If you make people laugh, they'll do anything for you." And from my existence, I would have to say that's damn near true.
It's so funny. Like, I watch your stand-up. I've watched it in a variety of places. And then I watched She Ready. When you go on stage, it's different than any other stand-up comedian I've ever seen. You're bringing the party to you on stage. You go on and you're dancing and the audience just loves you. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And
because I love the audience.
That's really key. Is that the key?
I think you get what you give, and people can feel that. They can pick up on it. Like Richard Pryor taught me when I was in the comedy camp at the Laugh Factory. He said, people don't come to comedy shows because they want to hear about your problems or politics or religion or pop culture or about celebrities. They come to have fun. So when you're on stage, you need to be having fun. If you're having fun, they're having fun. If you're not having fun, they're looking at you like, what the hell did I spend all this money on this ticket for? So have fun.
So let me ask you about that, because obviously then the spine of a stand-up act is you're talking about relationships, or some comedians will talk about politics, or some comedians will talk about other issues or whatever. So you still need some kind of like spine of comedy, but like what he's suggesting is that the most important thing is you go on there and you invigorate the audience.
Enjoy yourself. Like, if you look at Richard Pryor's like comedy or whatever, like you can talk about anything when you're enjoying that conversation, right? Like I could sit here and talk to you about this blanket that's sitting over this table, and I could talk about every single thread in it and all that. And as long as it's entertaining to me, it'll be entertaining to you. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about anything. So I can talk about being molested, you know what I'm saying? And find the fun in that and find the joy in it. And like I didn't know that was a bad thing. I had no clue that was a bad thing. And not till I was talking to my girlfriend when I was 19 and we talking about, we gonna buy us some breasts. And I was like, well, I don't want to get no breast implants. She's like, well, just get somebody to suck on your titties every day. Well, I did that already. Oh, who you do that with? Shoot, my foster grandpa did it when I was like 12, 13. Girl, you was molested. I was. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt or nothing. So then that's where there's a lesson in that too, where you can say, okay, we have to start teaching our kids, even if it feel good, let me know. You know, it might be wrong.
Well, it's funny because you have that chapter in the book. You talk about that. And it actually is funny in the book. You're talking about being molested. You're not even on stage. I'm reading it in the book. And I hate to say it, I'm kind of laughing.
Right. And now I'm just attracted to older dudes. Like, my perception is kind of off, but whatever.
You do mention that you went out with like a 60-year-old guy. So and that must have been when you're much younger than you are now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So
yeah,
maybe it's true.
Maybe it is. Kind of programmed me a little bit. So it's like your experience. I feel like your experiences mold you into who you are and what you are, and you have to, in how you view those experiences. Like, I could be really negative towards that. I could be like, oh my God, old man suck my titties. Oh God. Like, and I could be the most saddest, depressed person in the world. But I could also look at it like this. I was so cute. I was so beautiful. And when I thought I was ugly, I thought I was an ugly little girl. And here I know, I'm a beautiful girl. I was so beautiful. This old man with no teeth wanted to suck my titties. You know, I had it popping. I was cute.
You're even in your stand-up, it's like so positive and so much energy. Like you talk about in one of your stand-up, it was in She Ready, you talk about being divorced, and I bet, or maybe it was the SNL monologue, I forget which one. You talk about being divorced, and you say, I bet some of you are surprised to hear that, but I'm a beautiful woman.
Right.
Why shouldn't I be divorced?
No, I said when I get married again, and yes, I've been married before, and people are shocked. People usually are like, you've been married? Like, yeah, I've been married. Why wouldn't I have been married? I'm a beautiful woman. Hello? I'm probably going to get married 2 or 3 more times. I'm gorgeous. Yeah. Like, and I really believe that's like how you believe in yourself, how you think about yourself. Because what you think about in here is what you're going to project out there, and that's what people are going to see and view and accept or reject. So.
And again, given your background, the foster care, the problems with your mom, your stepdad, your real dad, all these different situations you were in, all these kind of horror stories that you were in, I think 90% of people don't come out of it so positive. Like, where do you think? What I even after reading the book, I still don't quite understand where the positivity, where the energy came from. Was it the fact that you found this passion so early, comedy, and were able to pursue it, and it gave you such joy, or where do you think this energy came from?
I think it came from. Some of it comes from my grandma. Watching her deal with really hard situations, she would always smile and laugh. You know. Also, I think a lot of it came from like watching TV, which is like so stupid to say, but like
that's
watching.
Where all my energy comes from.
Like, when my energy comes from my soul. Like, at the end of the day, the energy comes from my soul. My soul. This is who I am. I'm an energy producer. I'm a battery, you know. And as long as I stay charged, I can charge up others.
Okay,
you know?
how? I want to be a battery.
I believe you're a battery.
All right.
Just believe it. Just know that you are energy. You are the business. You are the light. I'm when I step into a room, even if I'm tired, like I'm tired right now, I'm still lit up though. Like, it's just who I am. I don't know where, to be honest, it's God, I guess. I mean, I watch shows that make me laugh. I watch things that make me think. I watch YouTube videos that talk about, positivity and creating and manifesting. And I've read books on it. Like, as soon as I learned how to read, man, that was pretty much it. Like,
which, by the way, you didn't learn how to read till like 9th grade.
Yeah. And once I really learned how to like really read, like I could do like 3-letter words or whatever like that. But once I really learned how to read and comprehend what I was reading, that's kind of like, this takeoff time. It's takeoff. And then who you surround yourself with. Like, I was around really negative people, and then I would be around some really positive people. And then I just gravitated more towards the positivity than the negative. So
particularly probably once you start getting into comedy, not every comedian, of course, is a positive person.
Most of them is negative as fuck.
There's a big
most
dark
of them
side.
are like miserable motherfuckers.
But you're able to like, I don't know. You started off at the Laugh Factory comedy camp where you met your first experience with Richard Pryor, kind of laying down the law of what was comedy, and then you say in the book that you took a break for like 4 years, but I don't think you actually did.
No, I didn't. I was doing bar mitzvahs.
And you know what it made me think of? It made me think of the Beatles, because I don't know if you know the story of the Beatles. Before they became the Beatles and super famous, most people don't know they spent like 4 years in Germany just playing in strip clubs 20 hours a day. So they got like this experience of working together over and over, hour after hour after hour, where nobody knew them, and then they came back and they became big. It strikes me, so you were like the energy booster at bar mitzvahs for 4 years. I think that was a huge experience for you.
I actually did it for 11 years total.
11 years total. Did you do my bar mitzvah?
I don't know. I might have.
And so it seems like that's crowd work.
It is crowd work. It's crowd work. It's reading a room. I learned how to read rooms. I learned an audience. I learned, okay, these people are very conservative. Oh, these people are very liberal. These people are in the middle. Like, I can look at like a group of people and be like, okay, they'll laugh at this, they'll laugh at this, or they'll be upset with this and they'll be upset with that.
And, and it's very, not only it could be a conservative crowd, but they might judge you just because they might say, what's she doing here?
And there's the thing right there. You can't care about how people feel about you. That's not your problem. That's their problem. That judgment means nothing to me. Only time judgment means something to me is when I'm in court. Okay? And I really want the judge to be in my favor.
I hope you're not in court too much.
No, I'm not. Well, damn.
Once or twice.
A few times, but still. I think I don't care about how people like judging me. I don't really care. Either you like me or you don't. Either you with me or you not.
So on stage, you go on stage, you're bringing the party with you, you're dancing, everybody's happy to see you, and then you start telling your stories and your comedy. Do you ever like feel that sense of panic when they start to get a little quieter when you thought they would laugh? What are you thinking then? What's going through your head?
When they're not laughing and I'm giving my all, I'm just like, they not ready. It don't have nothing to do with me. Because I know I do the same thing in another crowd and they're dying.
Yeah.
It might not have nothing to do with me. The energy could be off, whatever. I don't get down on myself. Only time I get down on myself is when I forget to say some jokes, some new stuff I wrote or things I wanted to try out and I didn't do it. Then I'll be like, man, I should have did this. I forgot to do the dang.
But doesn't that happen?
I'm moving on to the next thing.
Doesn't that happen after every show a little bit or no?
No.
So usually you got it.
No, it doesn't happen. It happens probably, like I like to perform at least 3 to 4 times a week, minimal. And probably 2 out of those 3 shows, I'll be like, oh, I forgot to say this. But still, it was a great show. Still I did a good job. Like, I think people are getting their money's worth, if not more than what they paid,
So you get on stage and I've heard it described to me that, there's several types of comedians, but let's say there's 2 main types. There's the Seinfelds, which do like kind of the observational stuff, and there are the Pryors, where there's a lot of comedy comes from their personal experience. You're definitely in the camp of the Richard Pryors. And sometimes it's hard to take like a personal experience and throw kind of like a standard comedy punchline behind it. Like how do you kind of take a story and make it ready for stand-up?
Well, first you got to believe in it. You got to feel like you need to feel like you're ready to share it. I have gone on stage and shared things when I wasn't really ready to and start crying in front of everybody, which was, and I'm still not ready with it. So I'm not going to talk about it, but
I won't tell anyone.
But like, oh no, I think I talked about it in the book when I remember this. Oh my God! So me and my mom got into a fight in the Walmart parking lot, right? And I had a show like that night. I had a show that night. My lip is busted. You know what I'm saying? My ribs is hurting.
So not just like a fight where you like argue with each other.
No, it's like a physical altercation. It's a physical altercation in the Walmart parking lot, and nobody stopped it. And my mom spit on a man with no legs, and all this crazy shit happened. And I got on stage. And my lip is busted, and I start talking about why my lip is busted because I don't want people to think, oh, she got beat up by some random person. No, I got beat up by my mama, and I'm 24 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about it, and as I'm talking about it, they start laughing, and it really made me mad, and I started crying. And I was like, what are y'all laughing for? And the more I start like yelling, the more they were laughing. And it really pissed me off. And I just started full on crying. And I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I got to leave the stage because it's just, I can't handle it. But they were laughing though. It's the way you tell it, the cadence, the rhythm of it, it's like music. You know, a story is like music. So it's a boom, 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 punch, dun, 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 punch.
Like, what's the rhythm and the cadence of like, what do you mean in your case is I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question. What is the rhythm? Like, how did you cultivate that?
They had just happened. It just happened. So I was just, the rhythm, I don't know what the rhythm was. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Honesty, 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 honesty. Boom. The punch. The punch was like, and literally she punched me.
And it seems like part of maybe the reason you cried and they were laughing is because there was a deeper layer to that story, which they didn't. It's not just that your mom punched you, is that she had this accident which caused schizophrenia and all this damage to her, and she'd spent, time in the hospitals, ended you up in foster care. It's you guys reconnecting. So there's this deeper layer that you're feeling that they don't know.
They have no idea.
And so you kind of want
so they think it's just a
layer.
Hilarious mother-daughter fight when there's like, it's way deeper than that.
But then you have like later on in the book, there's stories of you with I think it was Titus. I forget which boyfriend or husband. You're telling something that happened in the morning. You're already it's already in your act by the evening, and they're upset. Don't tell jokes about me. And I'm always fascinated by that. Like, how do you convert it into humor that's stand-up ready so quickly? A personal experience. Like so many comedy writers out there, like they'll spend months like work crafting like a joke.
But I think it's because I was taught that, anything that makes you in your mind go, try it, put it on stage. Like whenever, like I write every day for like 10 minutes, I'll write jokes or whatever. Or I'll do like verbal record, voice recorded or whatever, jokes. And not necessarily jokes. It might be just something funny just something I think is weird or funny or unusual that happened. Or something that I think normally doesn't happen to people. And I'll talk about it or write it. And then I have to my goal is to get that up on stage within the next week and a half. So basically I have 9 days to get a setup, to get it up, to get that joke up, to see if it works, to see if it resonates with people. Because I really don't know what's going to resonate with you, but I need to try it and see if it does. Yeah,
because I've heard, I've friends who've seen you all over, and I've heard that you could do 3 nights in a row and almost, you'll have some of the same jokes, but almost like a different set each night.
Every night.
So, which is really impressive. Like people say, oh, this guy changes his act once a year. Sometimes and I think also you can say this about Dave Chappelle, you could change your set every night.
Every night.
And that's really difficult. Like most comedians can't do that.
But it's also like when I'm on stage, I'm reading the room. The audience is different every night. Every show, like I did 2 shows last night. The first show was completely different than the second show. And you know why? Because the audience was completely different than the first audience.
What was different about them?
The energy level was different. The second show, they were more drunk. They were more, they probably went out to eat before. Some people were more sleepy, but they were louder. Then in the first crowd, no, I got that backwards. The first crowd was louder, right? But the second crowd was more like shouting out things, had more things to say. But the first crowd laughed harder, they were excited. You could tell they got their tickets as soon as they went on sale. They went and grabbed their tickets. The other audience, they probably got their tickets as soon as it went on sale too, but they got drunk before they came, or they smoked weed, or they popped a pill or two, or, they was a little bit more intoxicated. So then I could get away with more with them.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You can get away. Yeah, people are drunk and shit.
Yeah, but I feel like with the first crowd, you've because they're eager, ready, they got their tickets fast, you've passed by far the likability part of the checklist of the evening.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you can just bullshit up there. You can't just be whatever. You got to come with it. I mean, they spent money to have a good time and to hear what you have to say. And I mean, I could just say whatever come in my head. I could just blah, 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 just, whatever. But then Well, how does that benefit anybody?
So how did you change what you did per crowd?
I changed the energy level. You know, the bass or the energy level changes a little bit. The first crowd I talked a little faster. The jokes more punch. Like everything went a lot quicker. Like even though, and I did an hour on each show, but the first show I never paused really. I paused, but not really. I just held for laughter and then go. Held for laughter, go. Maybe to do a 10-second, just stand there and look at them and they look at me, take it in, go. The second show, they're more drunk. They're more like, I let them ask questions. I let them ask more questions.
Like
I
what?
One lady asked, what she asked me last night? What did it feel like to be the first African-American female stand-up comedian to host SNL? And I just stood there and I just bowed. And then I curtsied.
That's funny.
It was an honor. I felt honored. That's how I felt. And then I just kind of just stood there and let them cheer, yell, scream, holler, shout.
But what's funny about it is it's not like you being an academic giving an answer. You kind of gave an answer that they didn't expect. So you're surprising them.
Yeah.
Just by bowing as a surprise.
It's an honor.
Yeah. So what else in the second crowd did you do differently?
What else did I do? Oh, I talked to what did I do different? I sang happy birthday to people.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I sang to them. In the second show, I sang to people.
And
was that the first show?
Was it someone's
birthday? They all kind of blending together right now. Wait, was that the first show, the second show? That was the...
So again, that's not part of your act though, right? So it's just like it was someone's birthday and I once had a guest on the show who it's Nancy Cartwright. She plays the voice of Bart Simpson. And she had a great quote. She said, if you could surprise yourself, you're going to surprise everyone else. And so someone tells you it's their birthday and you just start singing happy birthday, which I guess is what happened, something like that. You're probably surprising yourself and they're probably getting a huge kick out of it.
They were enjoying it. I mean, everybody was singing. I started dancing. Lady jumped up. She was dancing. Like, it was a good time.
So you've been on a lot of stuff in the past years. Like you're on the Carmichael show. You've been on other shows. What do you think is it about this year in particular? Like literally 20 years after your Laugh Factory comedy camp, or even more than 20 years. What is it about this year that, boom, it's like you're like shot out of the gate? And you've been like a great comedian forever, but this year something happened.
Well, I think it's just finally like my time. I think everybody has their time and you have to do the due diligence. And I've definitely been doing the work. And whenever I get the opportunity to do something, I just try to do my very, very best. And I think that, that Girls Trip movie was a big deal. I mean, I was in alignment with Jada Pinkett Smith, Regina Hall, Queen Latifah. I'm working with Will Packer, who's like the powerhouse producer. It's just, it's all about who you know, who you with,
But it's not like...
Because I've done a lot of other movies too that were, I was good in the movie. But that I was good.
So you're leaving it at that.
I'm leaving it at that. There's a few of them they at Walmart, but whatever.
But it's not
the
like
Walmart movies.
It's not like a luck thing though, in the sense that you spent the years doing those other movies, building up kind of the list of people the list of people who think you're great. And
because it's about your relationships. It's about putting in the work. It's about having the know-how. And then there is a little bit of luck too. It's like, okay, you got this job now. Like that's luck. I don't know, shit. Sometimes I don't believe in luck, but people be always telling me, you so lucky. And I'm thinking to myself, no, bitch, I manifested this. I did the work.
You create your luck. If you just sat around at home, you probably wouldn't be lucky.
No, nothing would happen. So I do something every day towards my goals. Like I know what my goal is. I believe I know what my purpose here on earth is and I'm sure that will evolve into something else too. Like, all I wanted to do when I started doing stand-up and doing TV is I just wanted my dad to see me and be proud.
And
that's all I wanted.
Has he seen you do stand-up?
And he saw me do stand-up. He saw me do plays. He saw me in TV. He saw me in a movie. And he told me he was proud of me.
I know you work really hard also. I mean, your energy doesn't stop when the stage is over. Like a friend of mine was emceeing for you a few months ago. I guess you were at Levity Live in West Nyack. A friend of mine was emceeing for you for the 3 nights you were there, or I think it was 3 nights.
Yeah, and she's awesome too.
Yeah, she is. She's really great. Ashley Morris, I'll just say her name. And she was telling me how you did the show, then like till 1, 2 in the morning, you were, posing for pictures and signing things and so on, particularly people who brought suitcases. She gave me the idea of getting the suitcase. Then you flew to Atlanta to shoot a few hours of a movie with Kevin Hart. Then you flew back to do Levity Live that night and then start preparing your SNL monologue. Like, you work really hard. That's hard to do, to fly all around and then perform for hours and then work on a monologue.
And try to stay healthy. And not cuss people out.
Well, what's the healthy part? Tell me what you do for that.
I take a lot of vitamins, and every morning when I wake up, for at least 5 to 10 minutes, I try to do something physical with my body.
Like what?
I turn myself on. So like standing ab workouts, like lifting my knees up, running in place, or I'll plank or do squats or jumping jacks and some planks. Something to get my body like up. Or I'll just turn on the music and just dance for 5, 10 minutes, because I think it's important to warm up your instrument. My body is my instrument. It's my machine. I got to get it going. And then I try to make sure I take at least 2 to 3 poops a day. I think that's really important.
That's critical.
I think that's super important.
What do you eat for that?
Well, I take a probiotic, and I try to eat as many green vegetables, crispy, crunchy things as possible.
You see that? Steve, Rich Roll said that too. So we had this super mega athlete say the exact same thing.
Right.
So just the other day in this room. So
sometimes, what's crazy is sometimes I'll get so like tired. I'll be so physically tired that I won't even eat like regular. I'll just have my people go get me, or I'll go get it baby food.
Yeah.
I'll just eat baby food because my body's so tired. I'm so mentally tired. I'll eat baby food because I know baby food got everything that I need in it. And my body don't have to work that hard to digest it.
Let's stop to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I know I used to do this for a long time, is detach myself from what I was eating, not realize that food actually is the fuel that makes you go.
Right.
You could, and if you detach yourself from it, you feel like you could eat anything. It doesn't matter. But then that's how everybody gets physical problems and they get tired at night and
you get
the
fat
whole thing.
and insomnia and all the other shenanigans. What's funny though? I started my garden it's been almost a whole year now. I've had my garden, and I've always liked to grow things. Like I'll grow stuff in my house, little pots and stuff. But now I got a backyard and everything, and I said I'm gonna put some vegetables back here, and I'm gonna eat my vegetables. And when I'm here, like I can't water in everything myself all the time because I'm on the go a lot. So I have like my own little system, and I have my brother come over and like pull the weeds. But I tell my brother, when you water in my plants, smile. You have to smile.
There's scientific evidence. Plants respond to that.
Yeah.
Plants will grow better if you smile at them and if you tell them you love them.
Yeah. So I tell them
I don't know why
smile.
that is.
Because they can hear it, and it's through the water. Like, water is super important. Like, usually I have a big gallon thing of water, and I'll write on there success and happiness, and I'm proud of you, and millionaire, and joy. Like, and I'll write, and Tiffany, you're the best. Like, so when I drink that, it's programming every cell in my body to believe that.
Well, it shows so much. Like, I've watched so many clips with you now. Like, I saw you on Good Morning America. You just go in there, you're dancing. You did your energy boosting for the panel. You got George Stephanopoulos dancing. Like, you really take charge in whatever stage you're on. And these are all professionals are taking charge of their stages.
Yeah, did you see Michael Strahan on the floor? Like,
yeah.
like
he was
hilarious.
He was laughing hilariously. Like, you control the stage that you're on. And so whether it's stand-up or just going on like Trevor Noah's show, The Daily Show, or going on Good Morning America, you control the stage that you're on. And I think that's critical to comedy. But again, that's like a skill that's unrelated to the humor. It's like controlling the audience in some sense. Not controlling is a bad word, but like you're bringing the party to you.
Right. That's like when I used to mascot. I mean, that's kind of where it started, with me being able to move a crowd, MC, that's, moving a crowd. So like when I would mascot, I was the only talking mascot in the Valley. I had my megaphone, and I'll be like, Elko, what? And then people be like, Mino? El Camino? Like, and I'm like, no, Elko, what? And then they be yelling back, Mino! Like, whatever you give out, they're going to give back. And if you feeling good, if you're having fun, just like I was taught, if you're having fun, then everybody wants to have fun. Everybody wants to feel good.
I mean, I really agree, but let's say you're tired right before you go on stage. How do you then boost yourself so that you're ready for the crowd?
I say to myself.
And by the way, it seems like you do this in movies too. You control the movie. Like when I watch you in Girls Trip, I don't know how much was riffed and improv, but it's like you are really controlling the scene when you're out there.
Well, this is. I try to control all my environments. Wherever
Well, maybe
I'm
because
at.
you felt so out of control as a kid to some extent.
Yeah, maybe, but
I'm
but
psychoanalyzing you now.
For sure. You know what? For sure, I was definitely had no control and no power, and I try to control. I don't try to. It's not control though.
Yeah, control is a bad word.
It's not control. It's. I try to manifest. What it is I want to be, like the environment that I want to be in. Like before I get to somewhere, like before I get on stage, I see in my mind, this is gonna be. I'm about to have fun. I know you sleepy right now. You about to spread just divineness. You got divine order all over you. Everything is happening in the order and the way that it's supposed to happen. You got this, girl. Pull that energy from your uterus. You got it. That's where your soul at. Pull it up from your soul. You got this, girl. Like I charge myself up.
I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, pull it from your testicles, man.
I'm not gonna say pull it from my uterus. I'm just gonna try that. If it works for you, it might work for me.
I mean. Yeah, all men are kind of a birth defect. Let's keep it real. I mean, scientifically speaking, we all start out as females, and then a chromosome kicks in.
I never knew that. I never thought of it that way.
That's why you got nipples, man. And that's why a lot of men act like bitches.
It's probably true. I'm gonna have to remember that in all my future relationships to remember who the superior person in the relationship is. I try to do that anyway.
Yeah, God felt bad for you. That's why he gave you muscles. That's why he made you strong physically.
Not me, but
yeah, you probably are strong physically. You probably have it in you. You probably you look like you delicate, but I'm pretty sure if you punch somebody, it's gonna hurt.
Maybe I haven't done that since I was in 6th grade. So
okay.
I'll have to try it again at some point.
No, but you probably could lift this table by yourself.
So you I find it really interesting though when you're tired. I think a lot of comedians, when they're about to go on stage, I see them like they're looking at their notebooks, they're looking at their phones, this is their set list, they're trying to remember everything. I think what separates you out is, because I haven't heard this described like this before, is you go through a completely different routine. Like you're really thinking about how you can bring this energy from the inside to the outside, how you can best be of service to the audience.
Yeah, because they came to have fun.
But you're not worried about like remembering the bits, the jokes, and you riff a lot too.
I riff a lot, but I do want to remember like when I shot my special, I wanted to remember every single thing, and like I rehearsed it. Like I would be literally in my mirror in the bathroom, just doing a full-on comedy set for myself, just doing it for myself because I know it's going on camera. I know this is going to be forever, so I don't want to just go with the flow, even though I am going to go with the flow, but I want to program it in my mind that this is what's going to happen next, and this is what's going to happen next, and this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And then once it's programmed in there, I'll go on automatic, and I might veer this way or veer that way, but I'm still going to be in my lane. I'm still going to stay on my journey.
Right, like
and get to my destination.
It's like the act again is like the spine, but then you bring yourself into it, and that could change each act depending on the audience, depending on whatever's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so.
Because we shot. You know what's funny is we shot this special twice in one day, right? In one day we shot 2 shows, 2 different audiences, and when I watched both of them, it's 2 different comedians. I was a different comedian. Like, it's still me, still the same material, but it was a different cadence in it, different way I said this, different rhythm on this one. Because as I'm going off my mood, my flow, my energy, their flow, like, it's weird. I don't even know how to.
No, but that's great though, because again, I think most people think stand-up comedy, oh, I'm a funny person, I'll do stand-up comedy. But the reality is there's other skills that are maybe even more important, like, how you bond with the audience, how you do what you described in terms of like boosting your energy and boosting their energy. Like, these are really important skills. And then the comedy, as long as you have it, the comedy kind of fills in the holes there, but the audience is yours. You're really taking care of the audience, and you use the comedy as a tool, one of the tools to do that. And it's interesting to me. But so you've been doing it over 20 years. How long before you feel like, okay, I've found some of my voice. I've got that rhythm and cadence? Because 20 years might be for building the career out of it, but when do you feel like, oh, okay, the skill is starting to happen?
When I was like 5 years, consistently doing it for 5 years, consistently. Wow. So by the time I was like 26, 27, I felt like.
What was the difference? What was the difference between year 1 and year 5?
Well, year 1, I was living in fear. I was very fearful, right?
Of the audience?
Of everything. And always trying to hide behind the like always kind of hiding. By the time I was 26, I'm not scared no more. I ain't scared of the audience. I'm not afraid of myself. Whatever happens, happens. It's the way it's supposed to be. There's no, only thing I would worry about is like, just make sure my heel don't break on stage.
Which you did once in your book?
Yes. Oh my God, that was the worst. But I still made it funny, but I was devastated. I was so embarrassed, But like, just trying to, what was the question again? Wait.
Difference between 1 year, year 1 and year 5.
Year one, I was very insecure, very scared, very just immature.
Do you think you could have skipped that? Do you think there was any way to skip those 5 years?
No.
And you needed those 5 years on stage to prove to you that you could be fearless with the audience.
Yeah.
And that it was okay.
Yeah.
And then there's an aspect of that fearless, I'll call it commitment. Like when you're on Good Morning America, which obviously you're not doing a stand-up show, but there's a certain degree of commitment when you're dancing onto the panel on Good Morning America, and then boom, you're dancing again, holding George Stephanopoulos by the tie. You have to commit to that strongly. Like you can't back off.
No, you can't half-ass. You cannot half-ass it. And that was the thing. Like year 1 through 5, I was definitely half-assing, like scared to fully go out and just do it, just go for it 110%. I had this bit that if I did it now, it probably would demolish, where I made this mixtape of songs. And I said, when I was a kid, I really loved TV shows. I watched all the TV shows. And then I said, as I got older, I really wanted to try and be a stripper. I really wanted to try that. But I can't really dance to nothing but TV show theme songs. And I would stand up there with this big jacket. I did this bit like 6 times, and I was like, I never could do it again. And I stood on stage with this big old snow coat jacket, right? And then I would be like, what did I say? I would say to the audience, y'all want to see how I would be if I was a stripper? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, DJ, kick that music. And then it'd be like, da-da-da-da-da, we're gonna do it. And it'd be like theme songs from TV shows, Three's Company, Family Matters, Wonder Woman. And as those songs,
Wonder Woman, best TV theme song ever, but
right,
go ahead.
Wonder Woman. And so by the time I got to the Wonder Woman part, right, I done peeled completely out my jacket. I have on a Wonder Woman costume. Underneath, I had a jogging suit on that it was tearaway. So then I would tear that away and I have Wonder Woman costume on. I have 2 big grapefruits in my Wonder Woman costume because I don't have no titties. And I'll be rolling, right? And then the Green Acres song would play after that, right? And then I'll pull out the grapefruits and start peeling them and throwing the peels out and people would not laugh. They would just be looking at me because I wasn't fully committed to it though. Because I was scared to like really just dance like nobody's there. Really just believe that this is the dopest songs to dance. Because I felt like, oh, this is so stupid. And so they felt like it was so stupid. But I bet you, I might have to bring that back.
You should bring that back.
I might have to bring that back. I still got the costume and everything. I might have to bring that back. I'll bring that back.
That sounds really funny.
I would probably demolish. I still got the CD.
I'm going wherever you are, and I will watch that.
I got the CD and everything. It would probably kill now because it's all about confidence. You can sell any joke. And that's what the having fun thing is. When you're having a really good time with something, you're not scared. You're not nervous. You're not worried about what people think of you. You're just enjoying yourself.
But why do you think you needed 5 years to learn that? Like, why can't someone learn that immediately?
Some people can learn it immediately. Some people are like born confident. Some people, have someone telling them every day, you can do it. I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. You can do anything you put your mind to. Somebody is being programmed that way on a daily basis. But on average, most people are being told, no, you can't do that. You're not good enough. What are you thinking? And then if there's nobody telling you that, you're probably telling it to yourself. You're probably destroying yourself with that negative talk. So then it takes time to change that. Like, change that thinking, change that internal dialogue. Like, really, I had to, once I start telling myself, Tiffany, I love you. Tiffany, I'm so proud of you. Like, once I start saying it to me, everything started changing, man. My comedy got stronger. My, stage presence got stronger. My relationships with my friends got, like, everything changes. Like, people treat you how you treat you. When people start, that's what I learned. I treated myself real shitty in a lot of those relationships. And you know what? Them men treated me shitty. But now I treat myself super good. And when somebody's trying to be, they treat me real good. Now.
And so again, with the comedy, it seems like that your ability to have that commitment and that confidence, that ability to think, okay, the party is with me and everyone's going to join my party or not. Like,
yeah, because I'm good enough.
Yeah, because that comes from that. And you're certainly good enough you're good enough in every aspect. And then do you think the joke writing changed over the years, like your ability to write?
Yeah, for sure. It evolves. I mean, anything that you do consistently will evolve and get better and better and better every day. And definitely my joke writing has definitely evolved.
So it's really coming from let's say everybody's like an onion with like layers of truth. You're getting to like deeper layers. You're talking from a deeper spot. Exactly. And it's through the experience that you kind of evolve to that.
Right.
So listen, first off, I want to recommend to everybody that they watch She Ready on Showtime because it's like one of the best stand-up specials ever. I think you really come out there like in the sense that, I don't know, the audience I've never seen it like that before. The audience just loves you. Like, audience loves other comics like, hey, nice to see you. But the audience is like screaming and you're in control right from the first moment.
Well, that might have been also because they all got to come in for free.
Oh, well, there you go. That's the answer then. And then they should watch. Girls Trip is great. But also this book, The Last Black Unicorn, is moving. It's funny. It's sad. I think you have a lot of great stuff about comedy too. So anybody interested in comedy, should read. I'm just gonna read one quote, which I thought was great. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna find it. You say in stand-up, you need to be having fun up there, like Richard Pryor said, but you have to know yourself well too. You have to know when you make different faces or do different things. You have to know when you do different faces or do different things, you get certain reactions. You start learning and it's like playing a piano. You just know exactly what keys to stroke because really with comedy, you're like fiddling with people's souls. You resonate on the same frequency as them, trying to get them to relate. And I think that's really a beautiful way to describe comedy.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Tiffany, for coming on the show. And if anyone wants to first off, if anyone likes this show, subscribe to the James Altucher Show podcast. I really appreciate it. But even more importantly, if anyone wants to send suitcases to kids in foster care, look up the Felix Organization. Is that right? The Felix Organization. You can easily find them online and just send them suitcases. So
thank you.
Thanks, Tiffany, once again. And The Last Black Unicorn, please read that book. This is a great book.
Thank you so much.
Next time on the James Altucher Show.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to challenge each other to experiments. You've thought of some. I didn't really. I figured I'm going to use your genius.
Oh, man, this is terrible. Terrible, but good.